This is a disgrace. I'm not kidding. This is a disgrace. And this Corey Gardner, we're going to expel Roy Moore if he's elected. Seems to me, that's fine. Seems to me there's a lot of expelling that needs to go on. Expulsions, if you will. I think if we had any decent reporters left at the Washington Post and the New York Times, any decent reporters left at CNN and MSNBC and all the others, they would be right there at Mitch McConnell's door and Paul Ryan's door and ask them why they're not naming names and why not a single member of the House of Representatives, not a single member of the United States Senate has been expelled for sexual harassment. Not one. How is that possible? How is that possible when they just passed an anti-sexual harassment resolution requiring training for senators, staffers, and interns in the United States Senate? If this wasn't a problem, they wouldn't have passed a resolution. How is it possible that we hear from Jackie Spears and Barbara Comstock, so there's obviously a problem in the House of Representatives, and only now the Speaker of the House orders training for members of Congress and their staff and interns? How does it get to this point where it's so ubiquitous that now they put their foot down? But I'm saying you have leadership, right? You have leaders, so-called. They like to be called leaders. They like the cars. They like the protection. They like all the stuff. Okay, Mitch McConnell likes being the boss. Well, boss, don't you have some responsibility for what's going on in the Senate? Maybe John McCain, who's been there forever, can tell us who the sexual predators are. Maybe Orrin Hatch can tell us who the sexual predators are. Maybe Thad Cochran. Forget it. I don't think he knows what the time it is. Over in the House of Representatives, where they serve for 20, 30, 35, 40 years, they know who the culprits are. They know exactly who they are. You know, we talk about the mob and the code of silence. We talk about violence on the streets among gangs and neighborhoods and the code of silence. There's a code of silence in the United States Senate. There's a code of silence in the House of Representatives. You cannot tell me that Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan, the Republican leader of the Senate and the Speaker of the House, don't know what the hell's going on. You cannot tell me that. And then they hurry up and say, pass this resolution. He hurry up and do the training. No, hurry up nothing. And notice, the newspapers, the network TV, the cable TV, the satellite TV, notice. They're nowhere. They're just reporting on the fact of what the House and the Senate are doing. Why? Because they have their sources. They have their sources. And they don't want to lose their sources. People on Capitol Hill for years and years and years, they have their target. They want to take out Trump. They're not going to waste their time on sorting this stuff out. No. And they want to take out many people who might support Trump. How is it that the Washington Post has the resources to send reporters into Alabama and doesn't have the resources, the motivation, the interest to send reporters to Capitol Hill to find out what the hell's going on out there? You're a reporter, right? You have an editor, right? You have a managing editor, right? Or however it's laid out, an executive editor. You're reading about these stories, this testimony today. You're seeing that the Senate moves quickly on a resolution. Now we have the Speaker today says what he says. Why wouldn't you have reporters planted on Capitol Hill to get the names of the individuals who are exposing themselves to staffers or fondling staffers? Why wouldn't you get those names? Because you don't want to, that's why. Now that I'm pounding them, they might. Now that I'm pounding them,